Are you looking for where you can sit, relax, and entertain yourself with impactful conversations? Then look no further. Hang out with me where we have interesting conversations ranging from entertainment, politics, sports, lifestyle, and everything concerning day-to-day living, depending on who our guest is, but with a touch of humor to make it more exciting. Trust me, you will enjoy it. This is Hangout with Mr. Sugar. Grab a cup of coffee, cup of fine wine, and let's enjoy the conversation. Welcome. Let's get into it. In a world where social media seems to take over the attention of young people so much that deep research seems to be a problem, they no longer verify information, neither do they go on their own to seek for knowledge. Some young persons still stand out, and I have one of those persons with me today. People who have distinguished themselves to go for deep research, or let's say search for knowledge. What's up, people? You know the vibe. I go by the name, say, CKY, Mickey Kelly, your one and only Mr. Sugar. And hanging out with me today is someone who has distinguished herself amongst her peers. She is a book critic, a lover of literature, a lover of God, I must say that as well, and someone who has experience in working and mentoring children. She's a book club owner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome a graduate of the Benue State University, Msendoo Jo. Msendoo, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mickey.
Did I get that name correct?
Of course you did.
Okay.
It's so good here.
You're welcome on the pod.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we know this Hangout with Mr. Sugar. And today we'll be talking about something really interesting. But before I dive deep into our conversation today, let's get to meet you. Who is Msendoo?
Okay, I think you did a very good job about introducing Msendoo. Okay, yeah, you did. So again, my name is Msendoo Jo.
Okay.
From Benue State, Bandika precisely.
Wow, could have hurt.
Naira-ish. Okay, so I'm a graduate of Benue State University from the Department of English Education. That's from the Faculty of Education.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a book lover, an avid reader, a twin.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a twin.
I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a twin. Then I'm a lover of children, a children teacher in church.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher by profession. So
of course.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how did growing up as a kid, or let me ask, how did you find your love for books?
I think growing up, I accidentally started reading. I say accidentally because I didn't plan on reading.
Okay.
Out of boredom, one day I just woke up and then I was so bored. Went to see this. My aunt went for holidays at her place, and she was a teacher, or she's a teacher rather.
Was this when you were still in primary school or secondary?
I think I was around my just 1, just 2 thereabout.
Okay.
So out of boredom, I picked one of her books and I read the book. So it was quite big, and I discovered I enjoyed the book, and from there I just kept picking her books and reading, and it just continued.
That books that she wrote, or books
No.
Okay.
Books she owned.
Okay,
she was a teacher, so she had some books with her.
Well. Very well. Wow. And from since then,
yeah,
you've been into
since
this
then
book thing.
I've been reading.
And today you have a book club.
Yeah.
Wow. Kudos to that. Really interesting.
Okay.
So you grew up here. Let's get the background to your growing up.
Okay, I was born and brought up in Boko. I'm a confirmed Boko baby. Yes, ma'am. So I was born and brought up in Boko. My early childhood, everything Boko. Of course, I used to travel out of Benue to Abuja from time to time. But then basically, my whole growing up was in Boko. My primary school, my nursery and primary school in Boko. From there, I went to my secondary school, which was in Hill, St. Winifred's Girls Secondary School.
Okay.
And I stayed there for 6 years. Left secondary school, moved to Akudi for my tertiary institution, and I've been here since.
Well, that's interesting.
Okay.
Okay, so in the world of today, it's quite difficult for young people to be this enthusiastic when it comes to books and all of that. Growing up, you said you discovered reading from when you went to visit your auntie, and her books got you, and you started from there. Was there something prior to that that had drawn you to wanting to, because of course, I mean, is it curiosity that led you into wanting to read a book that you saw in her house, or you had seen this over the years and you wanted to see if you could explore that as well?
I think curiosity played a major role. I don't know, like I normally say, I'm a natural reader, so to speak, because I don't need to brag, but then I find it easier to read than, let's say, most people. I could just pick a book and read. And so there was this time, I think I was in my just 1 or 2. But then I saw a line when somebody said, it was on the newspaper, I saw somebody saying, I've traveled around the world through books, and it got me, wow. So people can actually travel the world through books, and I was like, no, I need to travel the world through books as well. And so it piqued my interest, and I wanted to explore the world through books. So I started reading and reading more, and it continued.
That's very true. Of course, people travel the world through books because reading, you get to interface with other cultures, other countries, and other people's way of life, and so many things, food and everything. Through books, you're able to get acquainted with those things, even if you have never been to those places before.
Sure.
So, of course, people travel through books, and I think that's very, very valid. So, what do you think is the problem? Why these days we don't have youth invested in books or reading generally?
To be very honest, it's easier to scroll through social media than it is to pick up a book and read. Social media seems to give them the illusion of something easy. They can just easily scroll through social media, get all the entertainment and some of them the information they need, and it's a faster way for them than going through the rigorous process of paging through books to get what they want. So social media has everything available to them as just a swipe or a click of a button. So I think
excuse me, I think it's a faster way. Yes, I agree, but it's not alarming that the invention of social media should make youth want to read more or want to engage more with books, but rather we find them doing much other things instead of reading, because you should now have access to more materials to read or more knowledge, so to say. But what we see them scrolling online don't seem to have anything to add to their wealth of knowledge, if at all they have any wealth.
Social media is a two-edged sword. Your use of it can either make or mar you.
Definitely.
So for some of them, of course, social media has provided access to thousands of research materials that somebody can easily get across to. But then, like you said, they are not using it. So instead, they want to maybe just catch cruise and forget about the serious part of it, because for you to maybe decide to read and research, it takes more time, more energy, so to speak.
Of course it does.
Yeah, it takes more time, more attention span. But this one, I can just be scrolling through social media. I don't even need to put all my attention to it. Well, I'm just there. Whatever comes and goes, I'm just scrolling. It doesn't even register most of the time. But then I'm scrolling. So
Yeah, it takes more time, more energy to read. That brings me to ask. Let me ask this: young people. What's this train of thought again? I want to talk about AI, but before then, yes. This is what I want to say. You find out that back then, you see people writing. I mean, there are lengthy posts. People post things that are quite lengthy, and people take their time to go through these things and understand what the post is talking about. But these days, if you post something more than 2 lines, you're on your own, because there's a likelihood that a lot of persons will not go through that entire page. But then at the same time, AI has come, right?
Yeah.
We have young people still using the tool of AI to generate things, to feel as though, yes, I can write as well. They cannot read 2 lines on a normal basis, but then they use AI to generate things that are like pages, because they want people to feel that, of course, they are up there, and they post this thing. So what an irony. What do you have to say about that?
As we have Fox intellectuals, people that want to create this illusion of them being intellectuals, but then they are not. So the same people who cannot read a lengthy post will go about using AI, like you said, to write something very lengthy to post. Same person that cannot read a post more than 2 lines is now going to go and write and post something very lengthy. Some of them, we just sit and we know that this person did not write this thing. This person cannot write this thing. We know all those things, but then, of course, this AI now, AI is a very good invention, I must say. It's very good, but of course, whatever has advantage will have disadvantage. So, of course, it has its own disadvantages, but then, if you maximize AI well, you will do well. But then, I think it has, the same way social media has made youth lazy, people lazy. I can't even say it's only youth at this point, because it looks like even the older generation to an extent are not even that hungry for knowledge again. So the same way social media has made people lazy, it's the same way AI has made them even more lazy. I had classmates that would not even sit back and think about what was taught or an assignment that was given. As they are giving the assignment question, immediately they are sending it to AI, chat GPT, and the answers are already there. They click off the button and they already have the answers there. So AI is good, but of course, people are not abusing it like we abuse every other thing. The same way we are not abusing AI.
So how can we get people back to track? How can we correct this? I mean, from the social media thing and then the using of AI for assignments. AI for assignment is not bad if you know how you're using it and you're actually using it to improve on what you already know. But then using it to completely do your work without you actually knowing what that... I'm sure most of them that use this AI to do their assignments or whatever it is cannot defend that thing if they have to. So how can we correct this, and how can we raise people that, I mean, society will be proud of?
This thing is actually a very serious thing. It's actually very serious, and trying to correct this will take a very long time, because the harm has been done. It's eating deep into the society. We start from maybe, I can't even since I'm in Nigeria, I will use Nigeria for example. We have to do a total reform of the whole academic system. Because
true.
Even see, some of these things are not even good to talk about, because it's quite embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
No, that's not talk about them, so
because you go to schools and you see that maybe lecturers are supposed to teach are not even doing their jobs, and at the end of the day are collecting money for grades, and you see that they too have their own problem. We now have students that will not come to school and want to get good grades. So you see that at the level of the teacher, the students, a whole work needs to be done
Definitely.
to correct this.
Mm.
Because for us, we can't just come to the student aspect. The whole system is already flawed. So we have to first correct the system. The people in charge needs to do a better job. Because honestly, the work is poor. I went to the hospital last month and the lady that was supposed to carry out a scan for me, in all honesty, I could tell she knew nothing about what she was doing. She kept checking her phone. She kept checking her phone. I'm like, what is happening? She had to snap the machine. I don't know who she was into, but I heard there's an app that will interpret these things for you. So this is somebody in the medical field that is not even able to do this thing. So you see that first of two things: either this person was not taught, or this person did not pay attention, or this person
was ChatGPT.
Exactly. So you see where the problem is coming from. The problem is quite deep. It's quite serious. So all hands has to be on deck to get this done.
Please, let's not ChatGPT sell. Come on, ChatGPT people's lives, please. So of course, there's a whole lot of problems. Just like you said, I mean, what's the difference between a lecturer who is taking money for grades and someone who is doing his or her assignment through this thing? At the end of the day, if you take money for grades, you have aided that child to graduate knowing nothing. As well as if you do your assignment using AI, you have also graduated without knowing nothing. So at the end of the day, it seems both teachers and students are, on some level though, not everybody, are almost doing the same thing. So of course, it's a system thing that needs to be changed. But let's come back to you a bit. I want to talk about your love for books again. I mean, you have a book club. How did that idea of you, not personally, you love reading, of course, but then seeing how you wanted to involve other people into this space or this thing that you feel that you love to do, and you wanted other people to also come into this space to participate in, according to your or in your words, traveling the world through books?
Okay, so the thing is, most people to an extent now want to read. They are hungry for knowledge. They just don't. I can't even say they don't have the time. No, some of them do have the time, but they have not brought themselves to the point of searching for this knowledge. They just
hungry to read.
No, they some people love the idea of reading. They don't love reading. It's just the idea of reading. Some of them want to come off as being, should I say, intelligent or smart? I don't know, but there's this whole idea about about people that read books that other people too want to be seen as readers. So some of them just are there, and you see other people. I met somebody last year, a lady. She genuinely wanted to read. She came to me and she was like, okay, I want to read. I've never been a reader and I really, really want to read. I love when women read and how smart they sound, how they can stand and talk anywhere and all of that. So you could tell that this person wanted to read. So the whole idea of book club came from me just posting about books on, I think, which year, 2020, from 2021 down to 2024. I'm not sure I posted my number of reads last year on social media, but then between 2021 to 2024, I used to post. I think 2023, I was doing a challenge. I wanted to read 100 books that year, and every month I would just drop the number of books I've read, and so many people came to me, I want to read like you, can you help me, can we read together? And I was trying to just manage it on my own, just individually. I was just trying to send books to this person, check up on this person's reading and all of that, and the idea just came, why don't you just put everybody in the same group and they're just doing everything at once? It will just save you time. Instead of going to just talk to this person or chat with this person and then move to this other person, it was a lot. It took a lot of time from me, and of course I was intentional about it, so I did it, but then it was a struggle, to be very honest. So it was just like, okay, if you want to read, here is a place where a safe space for people that want to read, people that want to talk about books. For somebody like me, I love to read and I love to talk about books.
Yeah.
I can read about something and I just want everybody to hear about what I've read. I want to vent, I want to appreciate this writer, I want to just talk about what I have read. How has this made me feel? What have I learned from this book? So just wanted a place where other people too can be encouraged to read and be able to just have a safe space for other readers like me who would want to talk about their reads, let's say for the month, for the year, whatever. Just talk about books, and I'm willing to listen anytime. So yeah, that was how the whole book club came about.
And today we are here.
And today
Quite an interesting job you're doing. Well done.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's not easy for you to want to bring people together. This is something really big. You might not know what you've done for some of these persons or how you've impacted the world through what you're doing right now. But I must commend you that this is a great initiative and keep it on. Well done.
Thank you.
So, how many books so far would you say you've read in your life?
That number, I don't know, but if I check about it, it should be more than 1,000 books.
Wow.
Yeah.
More than 1,000 books.
Yeah.
In this one head.
I mean, there's the list I read. Okay, last year I read more than close to 60 books. The other year I read around 80, 90 thereabouts. Then I've always been reading, so altogether I should read.
I still remember these stories because, of course, I mean,
the good thing about this reading is that sometimes you might read and it looks like you've forgotten what you've read.
Yeah.
But when you need that knowledge, it will come back.
Something triggers it.
Something triggers it, and you're like, I read somewhere like this. This is how it's supposed to be. I read this kind of story before, and this was it. So it might look like you are just reading and forgetting. Of course, there are other books that you read and they just stay with you. They are just there. You can't even erase them off your memory. They just stay with you. Then some you just read and that looks like, oh, what did I reach here again? You just move. But then trust me, when you need that knowledge, it will come back.
How does book catch your attention or capture your attention for you to keep going? Like if you grab a book to read, because of course there are some books that are not so interesting to read that you struggle with. So how do books capture your attention for you to keep on to finish your book?
This thing is not one size fits all. Actually, there are other books that you just like. I think to start with, the writer, they are good writers. They are writers and they are writers. So there's a way a writer would write a book and you just can't stop reading. There's nothing me and you want to write about that somebody has not written about. That's the truth of it. But then how
the person presents it.
Exactly. How this person has presented it and how the next person has presented it is usually different. So I will start with the writers, the ones that know how to use words to describe this. I love books that will just take me to places that I feel like I am already in this place. I can picture this thing. Those ones that will create imagery in my mind and I'm already okay. I'm not physically there, but my mind has traveled to where this person is writing about, and then I can see this thing for myself because of how well this person has painted a picture of this, let's say a particular place or a particular item, and I'm seeing it and it's already there. It's creating that mental image in my mind. So I love books that have imagery, so to speak. Just take me to that place. I mean, I'm not there. You have to take me now.
Exactly. You want to feel as though you're there through your imagination.
Yeah.
Would you say that there are authors that, because of their previous antecedents, you see a book from them and you go all for it? Maybe there is somebody else that might write that thing and you'll not be fascinated, but because of that person, you're fascinated by that person's work because of previous encounters with the person's work.
Yeah. I mean, we have favorites. There are other people that will just write down. You just know that, okay, this person, based on how well this person has been writing, you know that this person's writing will be very good, and I tend to know that most times it might not be correct, but I mostly judge books by first impression. If I read a book by an author for the first time and it gets me, just know that it's next book I'm reading. If I read a book by an author, the first one, and I'm not interested in that book, I will struggle to read anything that person has written. I'm that biased. So
even if
you have to impress me for the first
time. The problem is not if the person has other good books, but it's the one that finds you first.
The one that finds me
because
first.
There might be other books that are good, but perhaps you read maybe a book that is not comfortable with you.
There's this Nigerian writer. I read one of her book last year, and I just told myself I'm not reading anything by this lady again. I will not. Why? Because the first book I read it didn't impress me. I was angry. This book, no, I just told myself I'm not reading anything by this lady again. But then I have my sister, my twin, reads as well. She reads a lot stuff. So she read her other book. I was like, this lady, this her book is fine too. I'm like, nah, I'm not trying it. I'm not even going to bother myself with anything she's written again. For me, that chapter is closed. I'm not reading anything. But for some, I say those things, but I come back. But for others,
I've closed that chapter.
I've closed that chapter. It's goodbye to you. Because one thing I tell myself, there are so many books out there for me to read. I shouldn't force myself to read one that I'm not interested in. Of course, I give books and maybe a particular number of pages for some time. Maybe if I read first 100 pages, if I'm not interested in it, I'm dropping it. I just move to the next one and come back.
First 100 pages.
Yeah.
Well done. I don't think I go that far.
Let me see if this person will still impress me or.
There is a book you sent to me recently. What's the title of those two books again?
It was The Richest Man in Babylon.
No. The recent one, the one
God, Michael, and just God, Michael. For this one, yes. For this one, I think it was To Kill a Mockingbird, and I want to inform you that tomorrow will be killed with our families. Yeah.
So I didn't. I think it should be the To Kill whatever. I think I even checked the title yet.
To Kill,
but whatever. The one that is talking about the guy that came to stay with somebody, whatever, in their neighborhood, and those children came to whatever.
Okay, I think that should be To Kill a Mockingbird.
I have not gone anywhere, but it has not captured my attention. And
some books are like
I've been reading and sleeping.
No, some books are like that. To be very honest with you, for the first time I started reading that particular book, I was not interested in it too. No, I was not. I had to drop it, go back and read another book, and
come back to it.
The book I went to read, they mentioned this book. It was one of their book club pick for one particular month. So I kept asking myself, why did these people pick this? And from the book I read, this book was about book club. Yeah. So, and they were so excited about the book, and they were like, the book triggered so many conversations in their book club, and I kept wondering why this same book that I was struggling with.
Perhaps maybe what appeals to some other person.
No, but that one is very true too. But then I went back to the book, and when I read further, I discovered that this book is quite interesting, and yeah,
I hope I get there.
No, hopefully you should get there. The book is quite good. It's quite good.
Because I also have a thing of, if I read books and even the parts that I've slept, I don't. I find it difficult to go back to those parts that I was sleeping.
Okay.
Maybe I was sleeping and reading, and there are some parts that I read, but it was in my sleep. You understand? Yeah. So I can't actually recall exactly what happened. I read them quite alright, but I was reading them with a sleepy face, so I can't actually recall the main items in those particular lessons. But I don't want to go back to them. I want to go and continue where I stopped. So I might lose out on
Yeah,
Those
you.
parts that I was sleeping, and I don't want to go back because I'm done with those. I don't want to go back.
But you have not read this one and you're sleeping. It's more like okay. Last night while I was reading, I was quite very sleep. I slept early last night, and before I slept, I was reading, and my eyes were not opening at some point. I knew that this particular one was not entering. But I was trying to get to a point before I would stop and sleep. When I woke up at midnight, I had to go back and read that one that I knew that I was not reading well, and
Yeah, I do that though. But do that for the interesting one. I'm talking this scenario I just painted is when I mean the book is not
interesting.
appealing. Yes,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
not interesting to me. But when it's interesting, I go back to meet up with all the lost listening parts, and I want to because I don't want to miss any detail.
Yeah.
Because when it's interesting, just like you're watching a movie,
Mm,
any part you miss, you want to rewind back and
sure.
cover up those parts that you missed. So I do same for books, but when it's not interesting, I don't want to move ahead.
Okay. For me, I don't even advise anybody to stay very long on a book that the
It's not
person
interesting.
because somebody like me, they can't force me to read a book I don't want to read. A book might be very interesting to you. You might like the book a lot, but maybe I don't find it interesting. And like I said, there are so many books out there, millions and billions of books out
But
there.
wait a second, how
for
did
you
you
to-
deal with that when you were in school? If you don't find a book interesting, but you need to read this book because it's for academic purposes, you need
That's
this
the
book for
funny thing.
exams.
I read English education, and my course we did a lot of literature, English, and all of that. There's some books I didn't read. As much as they were for academic purposes, I didn't read the text.
So how did you
I
maneuver
used to
them?
tell myself that okay, this thing, let's say if I have 4 books, not all 4 of them, even if 4 of them come out in the exam, I must not answer from that book. I will just answer the rest and leave the other ones. Or sometimes if I try, I will just go and read the summary of the book and just read every other thing concerning the book, the theme, the settings, and I'll get the whole idea about the book, but I've not read the text because
You don't find it interesting.
I had so many of such books that I didn't read, and I just left them. I just told myself that no way I'm going to answer all the questions. I will just keep the ones that I do not read the text. And there were other texts that I'll read and repeat them. So I'll just tell myself that okay, from this one I know that okay, since I like this one, I've read it say 2-3 times. Since for and this one is for academic purposes. I'll read and repeat, and I'm sure that if a question comes from here, I should be able to answer. I must not go and keep myself to answer what I don't know. So
I think for me, when I was in school, I don't read some books. Why? Because it seems as though I'm being pressured to read them. There might be interesting books, but I'm not reading them because I know that I'm reading them for a purpose. I love to read at leisure. I love to read because I want to read. So most times I didn't read some books in school. I just go through the summary because I felt that they are forcing me to read this book. And I don't want to be. Don't get me wrong. There might be very interesting books, right?
Of course.
But just because I'm reading them for the sake of exam, yes, exams. I'll say that because but mind you, they are not giving us these books to read them for the sake of exams. They're giving us for us to acquaint ourselves with the stories or the knowledge in those books for future references or whatever. But they just tend to ask us questions in form of exams just to test us and know that we actually read the books. But they don't give us these books in school because they actually want us to read them and write exams. It's because they want them for our own consumption. But because I know that I'm going to write exams on these books, I feel forced to read them. And I don't, most times I don't read. I just
now you read them. No, I get your point.
So,
I get your point.
Before I got into university, I think I read more. When I got to school, my level of reading dropped. And when I graduated, I read more. Because when I was in school, I just felt, this book, I need to read it because they say I should. I need to read this one because they say I should. So I actually didn't. There are lots of books that When I was in school, I was like, when I graduate, I think I'll read this book better. Now that I'm in school, I'm not sure I'm going to read this book and enjoy it for the book itself. I'm going to read because I want to write exams. So maybe when I graduate, I had a number of books that were very interesting. I was like, when I graduate, I'll read these books. But as I graduate, I've not been able to go to some of the books. I've been reading other books. And I don't know, I find some, not to shade, but some books outside or written by people outside more interesting. I mean, the storylines, how to stage their plot, if that's the right word to use, than some of these Nigerian books. What do you think about that?
I think some of the Nigerian writers just have, the ones that are not good enough just have better PR than the ones that are good. Nigerian writers are good, I'll tell you. African writers in general are good. Some of them are actually very, very good. And then we have some that what they're writing is just laughable. Recently, read one, and before I would say Jack, she released another book with the same
title.
With the same title. God, the first one I read was already disappointing. It was my friend that suggested the book, and I read the book because
I think some person were saying perhaps it's a series.
Yeah, that same book, perhaps it's a series. So when I read the book, I just kept, the first time I read the book, I was like, I know this is below barrier. This one should not, this is the one that she should not be in the market. At most, she should be writing for secondarians. But this one, no, it was bad. But then I've read books by other Nigerian authors, and I'll be like, no, this thing, people are good. Somebody like Ayobami Adebayo, she's good. The husband writes so, and he's quite good. But if you ask me, I'll pick her over the husband. It's nothing to do with gender, but I think to me, she writes.
So, which author would you say is your favorite author of all time?
That one is quite difficult. I mean, I know I love. Okay, I know I love Francine Rivers. I've read quite a number of her books.
Okay.
Again, I think I love Khalid Hosseini too. That one has. I think the one closer to my all-time favorite, Dan Brown. I love Dan Brown's books too.
Yeah. Almighty Dan Brown.
Yeah, I'm quite a fan. His latest book, the one that came out last year, I was anticipating when it came out. It's safe to say I was one among the first people to read the book. I read the book.
I love Dan Brown. I used to like Lord Moore. Is it Lawrence Lord Moore? Have you watched that? This guy that wrote Bone series. Have you read Bone series?
No.
Bone Identity, Bone Supremacy.
I think I've seen it, but I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, he's late though. But I think they carried on with those series for maybe about 13, 14 after his death.
Okay.
It's a war series.
Yeah.
And I when I started reading, I love those kind of action books and all of that. I love to be in that fantasy. Yes, and that's why I also love this person, because it has to do with action. That's Dan Brown.
Yeah,
in as much as it's science-based, but it has to do with action. There is something coming that needs to be discovered. There is something that needs to be discovered.
I love the thrill of just waiting. The whole thrill of just trying to understand what is happening next, and the next thing you get strongly. I just love the plot twist and how he's able to create those pictures in your mind. They're not there, and I've forgotten it already.
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Life is restored. We'll continue. Nigeria just happened.
Nigeria.
All right, so we're back. Nigeria happened, but so far as Nigeria expects this, nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the conversation.
Okay.
Nigeria just messed up my brain. Okay, but I wanted to also ask, which book have you read that's made the most impact on you, as you try to round up?
No one book has actually made an impact on me.
I
For
mean, one
some,
that stands out that you feel that this book. I mean, at any point you're like, this book actually changed something about me, or something like that.
I think is this book is this Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus. It's written by Nabi Qureshi.
Okay.
Yeah. I read the book at a point where I was just lost. I was just there, and then I was looking for something to hold on to, something to believe in, and just helped my belief. This was somebody else I was writing to, just trying to see how real and genuine Christ was. And he was like, it was more like a game with a friend, a Christian friend. He was a Muslim. And he was like, okay, if I'm going to go and research about this Christ and I'll get my evidence that Christ is not real. And while he was in the process of seeking for his Allah, just trying to make his Allah more real to his friend, he now found Jesus. There were evidence for Christ that were undeniable, and it changed his life, and from there he became a Christian. And the book stood out for me. I read that book at the point where I too was on the quest of finding Christ, how real he was. I mean, we've had so many versions of him, and I wanted to get one that I could actually hold on to, the one that was unquestionable. It's just that one was the evidence there. They were real, they were traceable. This one is not because somebody has told me. This one is because there were evidence to support this. I think there was another one. What was the title again? Man Meets Messiah or something. I think that one, and another book by that author, God's Not Dead. Yeah. And so those books stood out.
We would say this is where Msendoo for Jesus was born.
Yeah, actually, that was where it was born. So, yeah, the books stood out for me.
Interesting, really interesting. So, apart from you love consuming these books, do you write yourself?
I've not really. I used to write in my earlier days, my secondary school days. But right now, I just maybe anything that comes to mind, I just write, and sometimes I post them, sometimes I don't. Most of the times I don't. But I can't say this is what I'm working on or anything. I've not got to that stage. I mean, writing is difficult. I appreciate writers, but for now, I just want to read and read, and maybe I'll write soon. I don't know, but then yeah.
So, in as much as we're talking about people that are young people that don't read and all of that, but there are some people that find joy, or rather can write, or prefer to write, or I don't know how to put it. Okay, let me just say can write other than reading, or rather than reading. You said they prefer to write instead of reading. Like they can dish out books, tons of books, but they don't read as much as they write.
Personally, I don't even believe that you'd be a good writer without being a thirsty reader. Of course, there are cases where some other people would, on rare cases, some people can write without reading, but most times the good ones will have to read. Of course, anybody can write, but for you to write good, for you to be a good writer, you have to be a reader. Check. Most of these people that are written this thing, they read themselves. I mean, where are you going to go and enjoy your this? There's nothing you want to write about that somebody has not written about.
Naturally,
you are not bringing. No. Trust me, there's just nothing. Just nothing that you want to write about that somebody has not written about. Everything. Trust me, even from the Bible, anywhere, it's already been written.
But let me use myself as a case study. I love to write more than reading.
Okay, and that's because at some point in your life you were reading more.
You
have not been somebody who has not been reading. You've read a whole lot at some point in your life. But it's not for your own is quite different. But it's not for those ones that say I don't read. I know somebody that said I don't read at all, but I write, and it's quite funny. And
You're
it's
wondering
not
where the inspiration is coming from.
exactly.
Burn out it.
That's not how it works. Most times, I
Burn
mean,
out it.
sometimes it works, but
But writing is in I mean, different layers, right?
of
People
course,
are poets, right? Do you need to read a lot to write poems? I mean, these are like, as they'll describe poetry, like it's spontaneous, right?
yeah.
Overflow of emotions. So like it's just like songs. Like artists, singers, they sing, not necessarily reading, right? Perhaps maybe let's say maybe they draw their own this thing from. I think that's it. They draw their own inspiration from listening to other songs too. So perhaps
Thank you
that's
very
it.
much. And then that one is
Yeah,
coming from reading. That's why poetry is quite different. You have poetic
yeah,
license. You can write the way you want to write.
and write
That's
anyhow, do
anyhow you
whatever
want to
you
write.
want to do.
That's how you
Yeah,
want to write. So for poetry,
interesting,
it's quite different.
interesting. So taking it home now, what would be your advice for young people today who invest more time in social media? So we're not saying social media is bad, but do not pick the good out of social media. As we spoke earlier about AI, social media, and then the culture of reading generally. What would you want to instill in the minds of young people that are listening to you, that want to be like you, that want to have 1,000+ books in their repertoire of knowledge and all of that?
Okay. The only thing I can say is that less scrolling, more reading. We have only 24 hours a day. You cannot be scrolling through social media all through and still expect to read. You wear yourself out. It's almost impossible. So less scrolling, more reading. And there's just so much you can take in, so much you can learn when you read. And one good thing about reading, the more you read, the more you discover that you don't know.
Yeah.
So it will just open you up to how much more you need to read more. So just less social media, more reading. Reading is more beneficial. Social media has its advantages but its own disadvantages. So
And just so to say, I think like we were saying off camera before we came on air, I mean, it seems to draw out various emotions from you, and you're just littered all over the place.
yes.
You're not focused, you're not concentrated. You're here you're here 1 minute, not even today, you're here 1 minute, the next minute you're there, the next minute you're there, because you're scrolling through social media and you're coming across diverse content that are just bringing out a lot of emotions from you at the same time. At the end of the day, you're not taking anything home, you're not internalizing anything, because everything is just at the surface. So I think that's very valid. Thank you very much. It was indeed a pleasure talking with you. I really appreciate you coming on the pod. Shay, guys. Well, I would love to ask, your name Jove is Jove or Jove, right? Jove. Is that an English name?
Nope. It's his name.
Jove. Oh, what does that mean?
J-O-V. That's different meanings.
J-O what?
J-O-V.
J-O-V.
Depends on the one you want to. But trust me, I don't
I've
want to know
never heard about that before.
No.
All right, that's nice. Thank you very much for coming on the pod. I really appreciate your wealth of knowledge, and I wish you the best in life. Keep soaring high. Keep making Nigeria proud. Keep making Benue proud.
Yeah.
Let blessings be with you. That's all I can say.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
I know you, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Hanging Out with Mr. Shugar, and today we had a delectable, a drop-dead gorgeous queen with us. Someone who is a lover of literature, a lover of children. We didn't explore that part, but we'll talk about that some other time. Msendoo, Jove. We'll get to find out the meaning of Jove behind the camera. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to LME Studios so that you get amazing content whenever we dish out. Don't forget, my name is Mr. Asikiwa Mickey Kelly, one and only Mr. Shugar. Hang out with us some other time, but for now, it's bye-bye from me.